We got a couple in Boston, our own club in DC
Right.
are over 125 years old. Our own just had its 150th anniversary a couple years ago.
Yep.
So
Yep.
lots and lots of history of this sport in in the country, really. So it's really important and cool to talk about it, learn about it.
It is.
Yeah.
You're definitely right. And what we have coming down now is the women's youth four semifinal three in lane one. We have Greenwich D. Lane two, we have Row America Rye. Lane three, USR HP Camp B. Lane four, Row West Racing Camp. Lane five, Ready Set Row B. And lane six, Panacea C.
Yeah, these coaches for all of these teams probably, at the end of the day yesterday were riding on cloud nine because they had so many of their boats go through.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just looking at who is it? Greenwich has 4 boats in the semifinal alone. That's pretty incredible.
For this specific race. We're not talking the other races.
Right.
So,
and it's hard to say, at least from our perspective, how many of these athletes are racing for a second time. Were they in 8s? Are they just in the 4s? And if they're in 8s, hats even further off to them because that's a lot of effort that these athletes have to put in to not just do so well in the 4, but also do well in the 8.
Right. No, you're absolutely right about that one. And it looks like 4 will be leading in way right now.
Yeah, Row West is just running away with it with Greenwich D hot on their heels, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, in lane one is it looks like is in a pretty decent position to be in second place right here.
Right.
And this is what I mean about that underdog. I mean, lane one is one of the slower times from the time trial. But that does not mean that they will be the slower boat in this race.
Right. Some crews are objectively just very fast and they row time trial really well, but other crews may not time trial well, and then they show up at semifinals and they just are much better side-by-side racers. They get that motivation from the direct competition next to them.
Yep.
And I think we're seeing a little bit of that in the Greenwich D boat.
And I'm hoping lane one can hold on to that.
Yeah, we've got the USRowing High Performance Camp and Row America Rye really trying to hold on to this Greenwich boat and maintain contact with each other. But I think the Greenwich D boat is gonna be making a little bit too much of a push coming out of this first 500 to really let these crews hang on. It looks like they're slowly opening a margin. And may just continue to do that for the rest of the race, trailing behind Row West Racing, who is just setting such an aggressive pace for this race.
I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. Again, I mean, we have lane four leading that pack, but lane one, we haven't seen a lot of lane ones in contention for those first couple spots, and so we're seeing, like we were talking about before, where this can be any man or woman's game.
Yeah, and it's important not to be too comfortable about either the results from last year or about the results out of the time trial, because last year you had a lot of teams that were building up from the pandemic. So their speed may not have been where they wanted it to be.
Right.
Also, last year's format, for anybody that remembers, was a 9-day summer national championship format, which just wears on you. And Camden was 103 degrees and humid. Sun was out. There's almost no shelter in Camden, so it's a much more challenging place to race. And
that is yucky.
Yeah. So this year you've got crews who've been training year-round. They've got a full year under their belt together in some cases. In other cases, they rode with their high school programs, and then they've gone to a club team to race in the summertime. But also you get to see some of these crews really, really shine through if they had a bad time trial. Like there are a couple people on our own team who I talked to yesterday that said, oh, my race wasn't my best. Going to get after it tomorrow, and they showed up and really laid it down on the line today.
And I have to give a shout out to Tony Madigan. I watched him come across the finish line, and I mean he just missed out of that final for the U17 single.
Yeah.
But he fought to the line.
Right.
He fought to the line. And I mean, I expect nothing less from Matt Madigan's son, right?
Right, and big props to him because he only just finished 8th grade. You know, he's not yet a freshman in high school.
That is insane.
He's such a young kid with so much of a future in front of him in the sport, and to send a message like that in the semifinal at the national championship is huge.
Love
so
that.
he's got a lot to be proud of with that.
Bleed red. I am loving it.
All day,
I am
baby.
loving it. All day, baby. Yeah, boat club.
Yup. Yeah, it's just a great place to be.
It is.
I don't know.
It is home.
I got no words, just vibes.
Yeah,
you know?
just vibes. We wake up 5:30 a.m., see each other's faces, and we're like, yep.
Yep.
We just look and say, yep.
Yep. Some people don't even say yep. There's just a glance, and you know that they're speaking with their heart, and you're all in the same place. Yeah,
Barely awake, but that's okay.
That 4:30 alarm comes way too early some mornings. You know.
I've had a couple close calls running to the dock, trying to catch up with other guys.
Oh, I've seen you.
I've had a couple close calls.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more than I like to admit. But.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So it looks like we are coming into the last 250 of the race here, and it looks like we will have a contention. We will have a battle for 1 and 2 here.
Yeah, Row West still hanging on to that lead, really pushing into the line, but it looks like the second place spot may be up for grabs between Greenwich D and US High Performance Camp B. They both, at least from this angle anyway, we've got the same one as you on the telecast. It looks like it could be pretty even, and it's anybody's best guess in the last sprint.
This sprint is going to be insane. This is going to, I'm telling you, people, look at this race right here. This is what's going to make and break which team knows how to lay it down for the last 200. Because right now, you have, it's tight. Second is going to be tight here.
Big move from the USRowing High Performance Camp. They're really putting the gas on now and emptying the tank. We talked about burning matches earlier on. They are putting that entire match book to flame.
Wow.
Really trying to send it home and establish their spot in the final tomorrow, and they're away with it.
Yeah, they're going to solidify that.
Man, that's an impressive sprint coming out of those ladies.
Nice.
That takes some grit in the last 20 strokes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well done.